the general approach of our subgroup has been, dear friend of mine, Tony Boggs, worked for us a long time. He used to use a statement, we've redoubled our efforts but lost sight of our goals. So the first year we spent researching and looking at everything we could, much of what you've already seen here about what needs to be changed, what needs to be the goals of legal education. Where we're at now, however, is we've discovered probably what, if we did a survey of everyone around this table, would recognize. In the 1870s, C.C. Langdell started a revolution in legal education at Harvard. And very simply, he said, it's all about the mind. And as long as we get straight A's in law schools, learn the IRAC method and the Socratic method, we're fine. The Carnegie Institute recently found that we do a great job of educating lawyers about the law and knowledge, not so good a job at skills, but better, and a horrific job of practical skills and a horrific job of formation of a professional identity, the culture of what's going on. And every school is pretty much the same way. Now, what our group has found is, and in its list of competencies, it's pretty well agreed with what much of Carnegie found, is that to be a great lawyer, you have to have more than just the knowledge and even just the skill sets, but you have to have all of the skills of being able to, as a human being, to be able to represent other people. One of the things you did not see up there is that the depression rate of lawyers and the depression rate and suicide rates of law students is by far the greatest of any profession. The stresses on us, the type of work we have is extreme. And so, Jay, to answer your question, I think what we found out is that we have to work a lot harder in a lot of areas that law schools have not been working on in the past. What we've also found out is that in the upcoming ABA meeting coming up, there's a big packet of accreditation changes. And as said earlier, those changes are more incremental. Medical doctors get 2 years of clinical study and then an internship. We've moved to require in law schools to require 6 hours and 3 years, 6 hours of experiential or practical learning. And so I think what this group is going to focus on is not only tinkering with the system. I think you're going to see, and they've already said, we're going to look at the bold possibilities first. We're going to look at the kinds of changes that would be able to say, we're going to look at a medical model. Is that out of the realm of possibility? We're going to look at the Washington and Lee model of the whole third year being experiential. Is that doable, and if so, how? And very quickly, so you can move on to the others. What we know from this subgroup is maybe our group, more than any other group, really has a tough time for change because there's so many political powers and people involved. You have to get accreditation change. We can't do it all ourselves. And so we have to do changes both incrementally within our state and then try for the bigger changes farther out and see where we go with it. So the group is excited about the future, but it's got a big challenge ahead of it.
Hold that for one more second, and that is, in your group's discussions, do you expect and anticipate that there's going to be a move afoot coming out from your committee that is geared towards a change in curriculum as a recommendation geared more towards the skill set of lawyers coming out of law school as opposed to what they I think termed at one point the head of the lawyer?
Jay, I think the very use of the term curriculum is in a way a little misleading. I think it's more than just curriculum. It's the culture of the school and how you go about inculcating the skills and the values. So it's more than just we're going to change this course, and this course. The committee has already said that as we go into this next stage, we are going to look, that group is going to look as much as possible as to what ways you're going to get at the competencies they've already said. And that's going to be clinics, that's going to be simulations, that'll be new courses. It'll be it may be a medical type model that will be devised, but it's going to be something a lot bolder than where we're at. But at the same time, being realistic that you've got to get constructive change somehow, some way.